A plane carrying a Brazilian football team has been involved in a serious accident in Colombia. This happened in the northwestern region of the country. Officials have not yet said what happened to the plane, but Colombian airport operators say there are survivors. And Rafael Romo joins us once again live from Atlanta. And Rafael, we do have some new details about the survivors of this crash.
Yes, John, just in the last few minutes, we got word that the first survivor has made it to the hospital. Local media reports are identifying him as Alan Rochelle, who arrived at the hospital not too long ago. Now, the aviation authorities say that there are 6 survivors out of this plane accident that occurred at about 10 p.m. local time near Medellin, Colombia. And what we know at this time is that the plane was carrying 72 passengers and 9 members of the crew. There was an emergency call at 10 p.m. local time. The pilot was reporting some sort of electrical failure, and moments later this incident happened. Now, there was some weather, foul weather in the area for the last 12 hours, thunderstorms and scattered showers, but at this point we don't know if that played a role in the accident, John.
And with that in mind, Rafael, is there any more indication of what actually caused this crash?
The only 2 factors that might have contributed to the accident at this point is what I just told you before, the electrical failure that the pilot reported, and also the fact that there had been storms in the area. Also, I should mention, John, that this is a very mountainous region, a very treacherous region for some of the flights. I have flown into Medellin myself, and it is definitely not the easiest airport to land in. But again, at this point, the information we have is very preliminary, and officials have not confirmed one way or another what might have been the actual cause of the accident.
Okay, Rafael, thank you. Rafael Romo with the new details there that one survivor of this crash has actually now made it to hospital, and one of 6 possible survivors. Rafael, thank you. Meteorologist Pedram Javahari also with us to take a look at the weather conditions in the area where the plane came down. And Pedram, also the weather conditions right now as those search and rescue crews try to get to the wreckage and obviously get those survivors to hospital.
Yeah, John, you know, in the last couple of hours, we've seen some storms pop up in this direct vicinity of where the plane was last reported to have been seen. But I want to show you exactly this very topography, the landscape that Rafael was talking about. You go in towards an area just south of Rio Negro where we know the elevations here for the airport themselves actually sit at 2,100 meters. So we're talking some 7,000 feet high in elevation. That's the airport itself. And you put this across North America, it would be among the highest airports in North America. And look at the approach as you come right towards landing. Again, you're talking about elevations of mountains even higher than the airport there that you're approaching. So very much a difficult landscape to deal with. And I just want to show you the flight radar that we have the data for, the flight path of this, and really fascinating to see this. And I'll kind of try to zoom it in and give you the best depiction that we have, because the flight path right here, you can see it on approach. The airport in this general direction, the plane was actually within a few minutes of landing. And we know of at least 2 loops that it made based on the estimation there on flight radar in this particular area just south of the airport. Potentially that's when, of course, some of the issues were being reported on board with the aircraft. But that is something that we noticed on flight radar. And you can actually look carefully at the elevation and also the speed of this aircraft. And you'll notice the area, the line indicated in yellow here, John, that's the speed, steady around 400 knots. A few minutes before it was actually beginning to make its descent, it actually dropped in speed significantly, as you'd imagine. But then it went back up in speed right before we lost all connection with the aircraft. And the same thing in the blue line I hear, that's the altitude. You notice stays steady at around 20,000 feet, and then a significant drop as the speed drops in the last few minutes there before the plane came for landing, John.
Okay, Pedram, we just had word coming to us from the South American Football Confederation that all games, all activities have been suspended until further notice, which is completely understandable. Pedram, thank you.
Thank you.